See, when I began speaking about the fact that every company has a product, and that product can be named, many, those who are watching now, are thinking, all right, well, of course, we have a product, everybody knows that. But I want you to think a little deeper. The fact is that every individual in that company should be able to recite and tell you immediately what it is they produce. Whether that's a service or an end result. Everybody on the conveyor belt line, the person who's putting the erasers on the pencil, is going to give you their product. Erasers that are well put on the pencil that fit, I'm just making it up, but you get the idea. Every single person has to understand at its most absolute basic and be able to name what they produce. Now, getting back to the secret. The ability to name a product and name it specifically. The ability, and I keep using that word, to be able to name a product specifically and work backwards from that product is in fact what organization is all about. In other words, if you don't know a very specific end result, if that hasn't been worked out, how can you possibly organize anything? This is what we complain about perhaps to our own government, that it seems like there's just a lot of organization but no real end result. We also call it bureaucracy. Hubbard's realization and discovery that good organization was all about working backwards from the product is in use now around the world. First, determine the end result. We have just worked with the shipping clerk. We have worked with the shipping manager and determined the end result is securely packaged, aesthetic-looking books that are shipped on a timely basis, etc., etc. And now we can work backwards, one point after another. Work backwards towards getting exactly what needs to be done. If we are to achieve that, then we have to do this. If we're going to achieve this, we have to do that. In order to do that, we have to do that. And now we have a production checklist. So let's review where we've gone so far. Management is a science. There are fundamentals to management. The fact is that if you know the rules and apply the rules and you understand them, things are easier. And that management begins with a good look at exactly what it is you're producing. And again, I remind you that this includes if you're producing a service. A person who has a home cleaning business has a product. The product is something to the effect of a home that's been cleaned to the satisfaction of the owner with all nooks and crannies gotten at a viable fee or price. So it has to be looked at, and every individual involved in your business and yourself needs to understand what it is you're producing and be able to name it. While you might be able to name the company product or service, does the receptionist know that they have a product that has something to do with a friendly, greeted, welcomed person who feels welcomed and recognized? That they have a product that has something to do with an individual who's been correctly routed or sent to the next step of whatever their service or activity may be? So the clear naming of the product is vital. And once that is in place, which, by the way, the first training of anybody on any position in the company would have to be a clear delineation of exactly what their product is. In the Hubbard management system, that is referred to as product clearing. Making sure there's a clarity of exactly what that person is producing and the subproducts that are necessary to bring about that product. So this production factor is so vital, again, because it is what you produce that determines what you get back in return. Hubbard has 4 conditions for this, or what we refer to as the conditions of exchange. 4 conditions of exchange. The first, rip-off, which is hardly exchange at all. You had it, now I got it. There's no production and exchange. Criminals do that. Criminals have rip-off as their only product because they cannot confront the time, the energy it takes to produce a product, get it into the hands of the consumer, and get an exchange for a valuable. But exchange is such a basic fundamental law that you can't get away with it. Eventually that criminal is busted, goes to jail, and pays back all the time he borrowed. In other words, it takes time and confront, so now they're going to pay back all that time and confront with interest. You don't escape it. Exchange is a very deep fundamental. So we have condition 1, exchange, very, very poor exchange, rip-off, fraud. Condition 2, exchange, incomplete exchange, perverted exchange. I ordered 10 blue pencils to arrive on Friday. A week after Friday or longer, I get a note saying, here's 3 orange pencils. The rest of your order will be coming next week. Short ordering, not full delivery, incomplete exchange. That's condition 2. Also a road to disaster. And many people, to try and handle and solve condition 2, drop to condition 1. So what's condition 3? Condition 3 is fair exchange, as Hubbard calls it. I ordered 10 blue pencils to arrive on Friday. On Friday, I got 10 blue pencils. Hey, terrific. Just give the public what they want and everything will be fine. We find out that's not the case. You find out that when you're practicing only condition 3, you're treading water. You're trying to stay above, trying to survive. Why? Because as Hubbard puts it, condition 4 is the answer. It's exchange in abundance. It's delivering more than is expected. Now, that doesn't mean if I order 10 blue pencils, you send me 20. It means 10 blue pencils that come early with a little personal note thanking me, maybe a little set of erasers. Always try to deliver more than is expected. That's a deep Hubbard management concept. And it is the key to referrals. The way word of mouth occurs is because someone, your customer, your consumer, your client, your patient, got more than they expected. And by having gotten more than they expected, they will tell someone else. It's not luck. It's not some of you were born with an administrative birth defect that you think perhaps somehow you have an administrative dysfunction. No, you haven't studied the subject. Or you haven't studied the real, tried, and successful rules and laws. And I certainly invite you to do so at any Hubbard College of Administration. Because at the Hubbard College of Administration, one learns the laws and the tools. Again, let me reiterate that one begins with a product or a service, creates that product or service in the most successful manner that suits that consumer. And this means surveys. It means constantly surveying the public to ensure that they're getting the kind of quality service or product that they should have. That means organizing everything to bring about that end result that is high quality and high service. And then at the same time, measuring that through regular consulting of statistics. The inflow statistics and the outflow statistics. How much promotion have I done? What has it brought in? What kind of income have I produced against how much have I produced in service? These are fundamentals, and it's not any mistake, I don't think, that the first 3 letters of fundamentals are what they are. If management has been a stress, if you feel that you'd like to become an entrepreneur but don't know how to start or don't think you have the tools, then please do contact us. We have free booklets to provide you, in fact, that are tools of the workplace that'll give you background and data and ways to get started. We welcome hearing from you, and thank you very much for your attention, and good night.